Hey there, it's Colleen Flanagan, mind, body, wisdom expert, master dowser and healer, and author of this bestseller, Fearless, Accurate Dowsing, available on Amazon with a bunch of my other self-care and healing books. I want to talk today about parents and their fears about their children in school and what could possibly happen. Yes, this is a huge deal in the United States, but things are happening around the world as well, especially like in war zones. Send your kid to school, you never know what could happen, right? It's got to be terrifying. I just want to say I am not a parent. I love my parents, and I admire everyone who's a parent, because my God, the things you go through, I don't know how you do it, which is why I never did it, because I'm like, I can't. No, I know, I can't handle that. You know, like Dirty Harry said, man's got to know his limitations, and so does prospective parents, right? Which I never became one. First thing to do is to write down a list if you can, or just think in your mind what's the worst that can happen. Maybe you don't want to write it down because that's like finalizing it or something. And think to yourself, what are some reasons I want to get rid of these fears? Being afraid does not make you sharper, more focused, anything like that. Stress and fear and anxiety release the stress hormones, which eventually, if this happens every day, they eat up your insides. They really seriously damage your digestive tract, many other parts of your body, and they can cause problems with your heart as well, especially because this is a heart-related issue. Think to yourself, do I want to do this to myself? Also, your animal friends in the house and your children can sense something's very, very wrong and that you're afraid. You can pretend to put on a good front, but they know better than you do that you're really stressed and afraid. And that signals to them that the leaders of the house are afraid and there's something to be terrified out there, right? Not in the house, but out there. Animals especially will pick up on that, and they can get their own digestive ills or hip problems, back problems, inflammation. Same with children. So do it if you're not going to do it for yourself. Please do this healing on this video for your children, for your animal friends, and your other loved ones, your spouse, your partner, whoever it is. It's really important for you to calm down and just be strong, because you're not afraid anymore. The easiest way I know to do it is to clear the fear out of your governing vessel meridian. That runs from the bottom of your spine all the way up over the top of your head. Down here there's endpoints. Tap on those endpoints where you talk about what you're afraid of and you want to release it. Or go like this. This is also very effective, but some people have shoulder issues, they can't do it. You could also, if you got a necklace, you could spin your necklace to the left or counterclockwise. Or if you had a pendulum, you could spin that in a circle to the left, counterclockwise, while you're talking about it. So I'm going to do this now. And I'm going to project the healing energy that I'm sensing coming through me from spirit above out to you. So spin and talk, or tap and talk. Arcing, as one of my clients calls it, arc and talk. Just say, I now release my fear and terror about what could happen to my children out in public, out in school, out anywhere. I release my fear and terror that I'm going to fail somehow to protect my children in public, at public events. I release my fear and terror that my children aren't safe, that I can't keep them safe. I can't be with them all the time, unless you're homeschooling, and even then, they got to get out and do some stuff on their own. I release my fear that these bad times are never going to end. I release my fear of abandonment by my children through terrible circumstances that could happen. Sometimes we become afraid in advance because our subconscious mind thinks, I can handle anything that happens if I'm afraid in advance, and I got everything planned and taken care of. I don't know about you, but I never made any great plans or decisions, and I couldn't focus well when I was eaten up with fear and anxiety. So that's why I believe now, and I'm in my 70s, right? So I do know some things. I release my fear of the consequences of someone successfully terrorizing wherever my children are, and I can't be there. As I release these fears, and I feel it's safe for me to relax, because fear, it doesn't do anything except, again, release those stress hormones that will eat up your body, your organs. And what good will you be then, when you're so ill you can't help others? And then there's the stress and strain on them of seeing their beloved parent unwell. And this goes for grandparents as well. I know you're scared too. I've seen your comments online. A recent Gallup poll showed that, it was from August of 2025, that the fears and anxieties and terror that parents have about their children not being safe in public, in school, it's at a 30-year high. I release my fear that there's nothing I can do to change this or save my children, that I'm constantly worried about them and upset. And I release these fears that I have now about the worst that could happen, in order to be a strong leader in my family, to show my kids it's okay to feel safe and loved and secure. Because when we feel certain ways, and you know this, it's the law of attraction, right? It's quantum physics, quantum mechanics. What we focus on, we get more of. So what do you want more of? More safety, more security. So I'm going to spin my pendulum in the other direction, to the right, and spin in the positivity and the absolute confidence that regardless of what's happened to others in the past, my children are safe. My children are surrounded in a bubble, a beautiful, iridescent bubble of safety and peace and calmness, so they can focus on their schoolwork, they can focus on their success, they can focus on sports if they want, or whatever their activities are in school that are so much fun, because they see me relaxed and feeling safe, and they feel relaxed and safe. And they will know, God forbid, if anything happens, they will know exactly what to do. They are prepared by the school, by our family. They know how to handle anything. Because when you're calm and secure and focused on what needs to be done, you can handle anything, right? Also, you now know how to release fear. And show your children how to do this as well. They can use their hands. For example, if they're in school and feeling a little bit afraid about something, even if it's about like they didn't do their homework very well the night before, guilty as charged here too many times, they can just sit in their schoolroom and just with their hand like in their lap, just say, I now release my fear of getting called on in class looking like a dumbass. I release my fear something bad could happen to me today. I release my fear about the bully. And when time is right, I will take action. And I will know the time is right. And so it is. So there's a lot of stuff you can do to get rid of these fears. Please don't live in fear. I have many times in my life. Not about the things that you parents are afraid of, but about other things and not feeling safe in my life. Terrible things that happen to women. So I just want you to know, I love you. You are a treasure. You got this. You can do this. Now, check in with yourself and think about how afraid you are about what could possibly happen to your children outside of your home. Is like on a scale of 0 being no fear, no anxiety, or 10 being maximum, has it gotten lessened since you've been watching this video? If yes, think about some more things like what's the worst that can happen. Maybe the stuff you thought of before that this is the worst that could possibly happen. We just cleared it. So move on to the next thing. What's the worst that can happen? Well, this could happen, that could happen. Keep clearing until you feel like, what if we're one of those families where nothing terrible happens? What if we're one of those families where we live in peace and love and joy and bliss, and somehow we're surrounded with this all the time? And the universe responds accordingly, right? The universe gives you back what you put out. Again, quantum physics, it's scientific. Also, law of attraction, if you're into that, whatever it is. Praying to God or Spirit or whatever you believe in. Asking Archangel Michael to be there with your children, with his legions of protectors. Archangel Raphael doing his best to keep everyone healed and strong and safe and just filled with God's grace, with the wisdom of the universe. There's so many things you can do, but please don't suffer, because suffering spreads out and makes other people nervous and anxious. You got this. You are a precious treasure. Thank you for your bravery and your courage that I never had to be a parent. You have it. Take good care of yourself and know you are loved and you are honored and treasured. Peace out. When you learn to douse, the universal wisdom is yours for the asking. Please check out my book, Fearless Accurate Dowsing, and any of my self-healing books, all available and very affordable on Amazon. Thank you.